Hello everyone, my name is SeaTactics for the Wit of the Wise, known as Ben, and on Twitter today, I posted, hey, I got a lost review, I guess you could call it a lost review, of an anime I've never released a review for, and I wrote one for on my anime list. And I got on my anime list today, and if you see in the top right there, my right next to the bell and my name, that's my old icon from way back in the day. So today what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of go over the review a little bit, what I had to say, and I'm going to make an announcement here. I want to be doing more of these my anime list reviews. I'm going to be putting my some of my scripts, and I'm going to be changing some of my reviews in 2018 to fit the format, so I'm probably going to be putting sound and enjoyment, I guess, in there now. So I guess that's cool. Hopefully that will work out for me. I've always thought about doing it since I wrote this review. It's why I wrote this review back in the day. And just so you know, this review came out in October 25th of 2015, a little over 2 years ago. I'm recording this on the 29th of October, the day before Halloween. So I'll try to get this out on the 30th, I guess. I'll try to get this out on Monday. But yeah, nagi-asu, A Lull in the Sea. It was free on Crunchyroll back then. I watched it, and this review actually came out right before the English dub for nagi-asu came out. And I remember talking to my friend Condifiction, which you all know as hashtag expletive Condi. I can't say this anymore on YouTube. Yeah. So here it is. Here is a Lost Anime Friday review, and you're not going to get a lot of these because this is the only one. This is the only Anime Friday video that I have that I've never released. So here we go. Nagi, and by the way, this is just how I used to write my reviews, so some of these things may not be good. And we'll go over what I gave the anime, the scoring I gave the anime in a moment, after we complete the review. How long is it, though? It's generally pretty long. Well, it's like a decent length, I guess. And I have seen all 26 episodes, by the way. Your review. Nagi is something of an oddity. Maybe not in story or in characters, but in visuals and settings. The setting is basically a harbor town and the bottom of the ocean. The story is so-so and the characters are pretty straightforward, but it does bring something new to slice of life and romantic dramas. I think at the time, by the way, just as a side note, romantic dramas, I was joking around with maybe Condi at the time. I remember talking to him about this over Discord. Maybe it was Skype, I don't remember. Roma dramas or something like that, romanta dramas, that's what I called this one. Let's figure that out right now with our first topic, romance. And this is, by the way, before I did like categories. So now you see like story, characterizations, art, stuff like that. Like I do things in categories now. This is before then. So I did all this stuff kind of freeform, like a traditional opinion piece, if you will. Now it's been a while, and I'm sure you missed me explaining my thoughts on romance to you guys, but I feel it's appropriate, and this, you'll be like, what? This is your first review on my anime list. This is, like I said, meant for an Anime Friday review. Romance to me has to be done perfectly or I won't like it. I'll respect it, but I won't praise it any more than it should. So if I review an anime where two main characters obviously fall for one another and you know how the series ends, I won't give that section a good review, which I have changed on that. So with that being said, let's talk about this anime's romance in particular. Scroll down a little bit because I have to scroll. I'm a little bit OCD. The new paragraph has to be at the top of the page. Nagi has a very straightforward romance. It's got a very basic love story, which is, I guess, a little bit redundant. Straightforward and very basic. I didn't need to say that. But what it introduces is the weirdest love. Pentagon. Would that be the right word? I don't know. This is the biggest downfall of the series. It's hard trying to keep up with who loves who, and who has another person to fall back on if they get rejected. It's an original concept, I guess. No, it's not, since I've never seen a love story this entangled in emotion and confusion. Watching it was like trying to play Elite Dangerous without autopilot, which This is a reference to, at the time, I just got my Xbox One, maybe months prior, and I downloaded Elite Dangerous, and I tried to play it without autopilot. So that's a reference to that. At moments, you get your ship steady, but sooner or later, you're going to go spinning in circles and get really confused again. That's the romance in Nagi to a T. I used to say that a lot, to a T. Go back and watch my old Anime Friday reviews. Like, you think I'm more comfortable in saying, like, the samey kind of lines over and over? To a T shows up like 800 times in the old Anime Friday reviews. Now, is it obviously the worst? No, I think you could easily sit and watch this and have fun with it. You also get bonus points if you bring a girlfriend, boyfriend along with you. Its romantic atmosphere really can be appreciated by everyone, though. When you aren't confused, you kinda can see yourself in some of these characters. If you've ever been hopelessly in love with someone when you were younger, you will connect to this series. Obviously, these characters get the unrealistic anime trope ending, but you still relate to those feelings. Which is true. You can relate to romance, because everyone has loved before. If you haven't loved, you should. So next up, let's talk about animation. Now that's one that still shows up today, that little transition line. The animation in Nagi is extraordinary, and it was very good. It's simply eye candy to the eyes. I didn't need to say that. I should have said it's simply eye candy. And it's very natural for this anime style. We do have the obvious art tropes with this too. For example, all the characters are insanely beautiful. This obviously isn't a problem, but for this anime in particular, the characters are all so attractive that I've ditched real women altogether. I'm 100% lines now. Hot. I didn't expect that to be in there. I didn't realize I had so much comedy going on in my old reviews, but that's... that made me chuckle a little bit. Besides the characters, the scenery is insanely gorgeous. It's like watching a painting come to life. The simple look at the backdrops are insanely detailed. Not as much as a Miyazaki film, but they're damn close. There are also not a lot of panning backdrops, at least not from what I noticed. This is back in the time, 2015, when panning shots were still the rage. 2 years prior at this time, Attack on Titan had come out, and I watched the Air to TV version, not the one we all see now on the Blu-ray, and insane amounts of just panning shots. It's just, if you've ever, just go back and watch some old anime if you haven't, because there's not really a lot of panning shots anymore in anime. If there are, they're really hard to focus on, because they're done a lot better and hidden more well. But back in 2014-13, even before then, you'd see way too many panning shots. And especially those older 90s anime, some of them are like 80% panning shots, sorry. What about those tunes? Pretty good there, SeaTactics, you're doing good. I'm glad to report it's all good. The tunes in the first half is easily what makes this series special. You get calm songs, while at the same time, you can feel the emotion and intent behind them. It adds to the romance subplot a little in the first half as well. Other than that, the second half is either ambient or it's full bore on the string tugging. I remember writing that line. It's got a lot of soul put into it and a lot of care where it was placed. If it had a soundtrack, I would pick it up if you enjoyed the anime enough. It's not something everyone can get a hold of, though. You need to be really into the story and have emotional connection to consider it a purchase. What I was trying to get with that, it made it seem kind of like you have to understand where it's coming from. But what I meant by that, because I remember writing this section, except for the opening, what about those tunes? What I meant by that, it's like you don't buy a band's album because you like the single. Think of it that way. It's gotta be at the top. Overall, Nagi no Asukara is a special. Did I say is a special? Wow. Overall, Nagi no Asukara is special. It's got its flaws, but that's what makes it so special. We're a lot with redundancies back then. like Angel Beats or Attack on Titan. That's a way to compare Attack on Titan Angel Beats with Nagi no Asukara. Way to go, SeaTactics. You're very good at this. The flaws, in a way, help it remain fresh and new. I don't understand what that means, but okay. Which is great because you can watch this on Crunchyroll for free. The characters are almost blank slates. The characters are almost blank states at point and are the weakest point, to be honest. The story helps flesh them out a lot, but the music helps push their motives forward in dramatic scenes. It also helps that the visuals are insanely beautiful. They remind me of Miyazaki, but in a weird way where you can sense that they use some techniques he made popular. How is that a weird way? By the way, 4 people found this review helpful. I just want you to know. Overall, Nagi no Asukara is something you don't want to miss. Nagi no Asukara easily bags an 8 out of 10. I can make changes or I can submit, so it's already made. But let's go back to here. What did I score it? So the story, I gave it an 8. Very good. What do you guys? Compare this to your own personal scoring of Nagi no Asukara. Wow, Nagi no Asukara. So on the story, I gave it an 8. The art, I gave it a 9. And this is, by the way, back then when I didn't have the 5 out of 5 review scale, and this is how each review system thing works on my anime list. You can't change it to a 5. The art, I gave it a 9, which I'd agree with. Sound, I gave it a 9, which I'd agree with. Characters, I gave it a 9. Probably not. From my memory, I'd probably give it around an 8 now. Enjoyment, gave it a 9. I'm pretty straightforward with that. Overall, gave it an 8. The review, in my opinion, that I put out here way back when, I look at these reviews sometimes and I go, I was really onto something here. I had a different, unique review style than I do now. My review style is more standardized because I put out so much of them. Back then, I only did one a week. And then I took months off from Anime Friday because I was mostly an anime gamer I was mostly just a gaming channel back then. I did gaming stuff in 2015. And probably another reason why this review probably never got put out is because days after this, my computer just exploded and broke. So and I didn't do things until May or June of 2016. So that's that. I was in dire straits then. I didn't have a computer. I couldn't do YouTube, so I didn't write reviews either after that. But yeah, I look back and I go, I'd like to incorporate some of these elements in here because I go back and watch some of my old videos too. And some of the reviews, they hold up really well. Like I use words and I word things differently than I do now that are kind of, they sound better, but and stuff like that. They were better made because I wasn't making so many of them. Now I make so many of these reviews and I do so many of them that I have more of a way that I do it. More a way I'm comfortable with, a way that I fall into, that a way you guys can connect to easier. But this is the only one you'll ever see. This is the only review of Anime Friday that never got released. I have more reviews, but I threw the hard drive away because it got corrupted. So they're somewhere in that hard drive in a landfill probably right now. If you can go find it, then good luck. It's probably out in the middle of the ocean on that pile of trash that's bigger than the state of Texas or whatever it is. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this look back, please feel free to give this video a like. I'll try to do some more stuff like this, maybe where I criticize my old reviews. I'm going to re-review some anime here very soon in November. I'm going to re-review Sword Art Online and Akame ga Kill, or whatever. I don't know how you pronounce Akemi. You can go check out those old reviews. They're on Season 1 of Anime Friday playlist, so go back and check those out if you want to. They're all up. You can still watch them in full with everything attached to them. The everything. It's all there. So, that being said, I hope you I hope you look forward to the new stuff that's coming out. I hope you enjoy my reviews. It's been a wild ride down memory lane with this. So I'll see you guys later. My name is SeaTactics for the win, otherwise known as Ben. Still can't believe 4 people found this review helpful. Signing out!